Capcom and fighting games are a match made in heaven! The same can be said for Capcom and beat-em-ups, representing the best of the old school variety. Of course they got plenty to brag about. Armored Warrior, Captain Commando, Warriors of Fate, Knights of the Round, and Final Fight at the top. But today I want to talk about a quirky little number from the series for the NES. No, I'm not kidding. Capcom made one in 1993, dubbing it Mighty Final Fight. And definitely, there's plenty to be mighty about. For starters, all three of the OG are back. Guy's kicking ass, Hager's doing the Whirl O muscle, and Cody's Shoryuken? Whatever. The game already has me so psyched, yet perplexed. Think about it. Here we have an 8-bit game, all three fighters included. Then you look at the Super NES version and... what the fuck? How come other ports keep all three and this loses one? Even other arcade to console ports like Golden Axe kept pretty much intact, and they were released before Final Fight. In all honesty, I can forgive the first, but taking a second stab only to come up short again is no excuse. Either it's all or bust. There's no doubt Mighty Final Fight sweats gaming goodness by the buckets, but Capcom took it a step further, plugging in an experience system, giving it that 1-2 genre combo in Kickmaster and King of Dragons. I'm surprised they didn't inject this idea more for future titles. I mean, what's better than busting heads? Busting heads harder, that's what. The ride doesn't stop there. Oh no, it gets better. Cody and the game learn new moves as they build up in level. Guy's new kicks are effective against regular enemies. Hager sets him up for a pile driver, and bosses will fear Cody's Hadouken? Anyway, raking in those points is no simple feat. Actually, the experience system is far from typical, if you can believe that. Capcom borrowed a page from Turtles in Time, creating a method that follows one simple rule. The better the finisher, the better the score. Something cheap like a simple punch or throw into the pits nets you 1 point, while uppercuts, suplexes, and pile drivers nets you 4 or more. And I like it, because it tempts and rewards players to search new ways to bring the pain, and it kinda adds incentive to play all three characters. I'll let you in on a little secret. Pick Hager as your first fighter. Next step, get the stuffing beaten out of you. Then pick Guy or Cody. And there you go, you start the game at level 3. Forewarned, it'll cost you 1 continue, but you can recoup your losses in the bonus stage, along with lives and experience. Finally, something besides worthless points. Great as Mighty Final Fight is, the game suffers the same pains as its SNES counterpart. There's only 5 stages and no 2-player co-op. The game as a whole tends to be easy even if you haven't reached the maximum level yet. On the flip side, the music deserves a thumbs up. Not one to outbest Mega Man's legendary track, but come on, it's Capcom. But let's talk graphics, because developers did a phenomenal job, and no wonder. Capcom was notorious for supporting the NES even on its last legs, so when this little gem came into production, they knew the system like the back of their hand. Their vibrant and colorful backgrounds aspire to the same level equal to Street Fighter and Final Fight, if they were an 8-bit. One important note to make, programmers didn't just cram a 16-bit game into an 8-bit carton. They were smart enough to build from the bottom up in a different way, with humor. This game has plenty of silly moments to laugh at. There's no denying Mighty Final Fight makes fun of its namesake, but it's not the first time in video games. Kid Dracula parodies the Castlevania series, the same for Wanpaku and Splatterhouse. Nor was it the last, as Capcom continued the cartoonish style for their puzzle fighter games. It's a dirty shame that most third parties dump on it for the sake of realism. I feel this fun-loving aspect fits right at home for the Wii and DS, cause if you can't be serious, be silly! Can't be gory, be goofy. Can't be shit and scary, then be stupidly funny. It's a creative avenue most developers hardly tried, and would love to see something like Kid Dracula presented to a new generation. But they better bring their A game, no wait, their triple A game, cause I'm sick and tired of their poor treatment with the Wii. Bottom line, bad ideas and half-assed attempts are no excuse. I'm looking at you, Konami. Now, grabbing the game from eBay will cost you a very pretty penny. Luckily, you can find Mighty Final Fight on Capcom Classic Minimix for the GBA plus 2 noticeable NES titles, Strider and Bionic Commando, all for the sum of a few bucks. In the end, Mighty Final Fight was one of the last best hurrahs for the NES, and quickly soon Capcom and others had a whole new world to explore, leaving behind an era. Unfortunately, like many late 8-bit titles, this classic was overshadowed by Sega's and Nintendo's 16-bit war. With the retro revival in full force today, this baby is getting a second look. Final Fight fans will like it, beat 'em up aficionados will find it interesting, and Nintendo players should give it a try, cause who doesn't love beating up bad guys? In video games, of course.